Hey guys, guten Morgen aus Deutschland, good morning from Germany. I've been ignoring Chantal since I told you guys she didn't mean what she said when she said she has to do something about her health. She's only going to drink water from now on, no more sodas, no more carbs, or whatever. You know, the whole list she gave, what she isn't going to do anymore and what she is going to do. It was all a lie or a brief realization that she is effed. And I told you guys the next videos are going to be mukbangs, and she's going to flaunt it in our faces that she is on the fast track to the incinerator. And so I ignored her since then because I saw it coming. Because she didn't give an authentic vibe when she did say that she's going to have to do something to save her life. And but now popping up with the title "Schooling Haters ASMR," of course I'm gonna have to react to that. And thank you for those of you that brought it to my attention, because I wasn't even paying attention anymore. The few things that I know about what she's been doing lately is from when reaction channels pop up. And so, yeah, I would like to give my 2 cents on what she had to say. I mean, that pose already in the thumbnail is a joke, and then massive mukbangs. Foodie is binging, dude. 21 minutes of that BS. We're gonna see what we can cut out, but I would definitely give her what's for. So let's get started. Right off the bat, first a frame. She's been gaining weight since I last saw her, and I've not been paying attention to her because I knew that she was gonna get going with the mukbangs again right after telling us that she's gonna pay attention to her health and she wants to save her life and she wants to go traveling, and so she needs to improve her health. And so here she is, fatter as when the last time I saw her, and filters on full blast, but they can't even erase the CPAP machine marks, which of course is a good thing, because other than Amber, this one at least wears a CPAP machine, without which she would probably already have croaked. And so, yeah. Let's see what she has to say.
Hi, welcome back to another video.
Hey Chantal, how is it going?
This video I call Telling Off Haters in my ASMR voice.
And you think you're smart for doing that, huh? You know what it feels like when you're being told off in an ASMR voice? Here it goes. Hey Chantal, you weigh 450 pounds. You've done nothing with your life so far. You've not acquired any skills besides packing food into your fat face. And you have a horrid personality on top of it all. It makes absolutely no difference if you use a friendly voice or a bitchy voice. You are a bitch and a rotten human being, and you do not get to school anybody, no matter what voice you might use.
So I hope you enjoy this video. Please give it a thumbs up.
Absolutely not. I'm not even giving it a view because I'm not watching it on your channel.
And let's get into it, shall
Sure, let's.
we? Alright, so
Even though I doubt that you have anything halfway intelligent to say.
normally, you know, somebody who has an online presence and is well known
You are not well known, you are a lol cow, and you're infamous. Study up on your English terminology.
would just ignore certain criticisms.
Maybe Muslims would too, but you don't because you wear that thing like a costume.
Now the thing is
The thing is she looking at her notes or is she just winging it because this is already cringy?
the community of reactors and critics and haters that orbit myself,
You being the planet with your own gravity, yeah, about checks out.
my being, are dumber, more ignorant, and more petty than most.
You can't generalize like this. There are so many different reaction channels. I give you that. There are reaction channels that do things I, for example, would never do. They do it for money. It's their only income by now. And so they tend to use practices that I wouldn't choose, but you can't generalize. There are so many different ones. And most of the ones that I have come across over the years are more intelligent than you are. And so miss me with the dumber expression, because you seem to be the dumbest in the community, in your community. Of course, Amber is a whole different ballgame.
They're not normal reactions.
Normal reactors. Okay, a reactor is a person, or I don't even know if reactor is the right term. Let's just say commenter, right? Or, okay, so we're reacting to what you guys are saying and doing. And so that means anything that comes to our minds that we have as a reaction to what you're saying and doing is legit. And that is normal. That is normal. Of course, there are some people that take it to a whole new level. They come up with fake, false facts and, falsify documents or whatever. But most of us don't do that.
They're not normal tea channels because they create tea when there is none.
I don't even have to do that in your and Amber's case because you guys just keep shoveling the shit around and keep uncovering mistakes that you've made in the past that have dragged on all the way to the present time.
But there is something that I see going around that I just want to correct and school people on.
You don't get to school anybody on anything, not even on food. Because what you're not understanding, and it's the same with Amber, what you both are not understanding is that because of all the toxins that you've ingested and all the times that you've allowed yourself to just sleep, eat, sleep, eat, sleep, eat, your IQs have dropped so significantly that you can't even have a decent thought anymore, let alone conveying it in a video. Okay, so you don't get to school anybody, not on food, not on food related topics such as weight loss or weight gain or eating disorders. None of that. You should not be allowed to speak on any of that. What the only thing you should be allowed to do at this point is just keep shoveling food in your face, smear it all over your face, and get paid for it if you're lucky enough, if somebody wants to pay for it, but not on the YouTube platform. There's only fans for that shit, okay? It doesn't need to be in the public domain because you are, and there's no doubt about that, committing suicide via overeating on a daily basis, and you should not be able to monetize that at all.
Because there's a lot of ignorance when it comes to eating disorders.
On your part, that is correct. Go on.
So I want to first say that
A little faster, you're boring me already because you're like brain lame from all the years that you've done nothing with your life and have not challenged yourself in any kind of way.
people are picking apart my mukbangs.
Yeah, because you are a pig. You eat like an animal. You smear food all over your face. You make sounds that are disgusting. My gag reflex is not very sensitive, but I have gagged in one of the last mukbangs. I was doing something around here, and you know how YouTube just keeps going. When one video ends, they play another one. And I was like, what is that sound? And so I looked, and there she was with food smeared all over her face. And so that is just gross. And anybody that enjoys that kind of gross shit needs to watch it on OnlyFans, Chantal. That's where you need to take that mess to OnlyFans. This has no business being on a public platform.
They claim to hate them, they don't like them, they can't stand the noises.
Yeah, okay. And that is, by the way, most of your audience. And it's no mystery to me why that is.
Whatever. So
So that is whatever to you, okay? So you don't care what people like and do not like. The majority of your viewers wants to see you, I guess. I guess. I'm just taking a stab in the dark here. Wants to see you succeed. You can't just keep stringing them along. You know what I'm saying?
Now, the tea on the mukbangs is that apparently every mukbang I do is massive and a binge.
And that it is, oh my God, look at her cheeks falling down because her skin can't hold all that fat anymore. You see how deformed? Okay, yeah, so I've seen that too, and I would, if I had to comment on it, which I'm not gonna comment on your mukbangs because you are just a pig, and my time is too precious for that. But I've seen people call it massive or binging, and that is because you have absolutely no idea how little food a human being needs during the day, during one day. You just keep shoveling in portions that are made for, the troughs that your Syrian scammer puts in front of you. They're made for families of 4 or 5. You know what I'm saying? And in poorer countries, maybe even more people. And you just shovel that shit in like one spoon after another. Might as well use your hands, dig them into one of those wheels of rice and just smear it all over your face and then scrape it into your mouth. Why not go completely disgusting with it and get paid for it on OnlyFans?
Which most of them are neither.
That is not correct. Correct is that your portions are so huge, and the fact that you are not aware of it is just more proof that you have a complete eating disorder that needs to be diagnosed and medically treated, because otherwise you're going to eat yourself to death. You can't possibly think that the amounts of food you eat are normal. And so, yes, these mukbangs are disgusting. The portions are way too large, and you have no more backbone left just to make a few bucks. I'm not even going to mention the corn dogs here.
So let me explain. I will use the KFC mukbang as an example.
Sure, let's see you try.
Now, the KFC mukbang I just recently did today is neither a binge, and it is neither. It's also not massive.
Yes, it is. Cause those two, you didn't leave the picture up probably because you're ashamed. But those two, was it sandwiches or whatever? One of them would have been enough, maybe half of them for one meal. But you have two long ones, and then you have a bucket of something that I couldn't even detect what that was. And then, of course, you always gulp it down with high caloric beverages. And so imagine the calories of one of those meals. And that is why you will never lose weight. That's why your health will continue deteriorating.
I will show you an example
Okay, weren't you just not gonna do that? And then what happened?
of a massive KFC binge right here.
Okay, that girl is skinny and so can't really say nothing about that. I also don't know if that is a mukbang. Maybe she's just showing the things she has prepared for her friends to come over and have a party. Who knows? I don't know. I do not know.
Okay, as you can see, there are a couple of buckets of chicken. There is just a whole lot of food there, okay?
Okay.
And if you compare with my mukbang, I have 2 chicken wraps, which are large. Yes, I do.
Yeah, okay. So shut up while I'm trying to assess the the situation here. So she has a whole bucket of fried shit. She shouldn't be eating that to start off with. And then all the carbs, she said she wouldn't have carbs anymore. Well, what do you know? Half of that wrap would have done it with water. But no, she has a whole bucket of thing, 2 large wraps, and of course the sodies because these people can't stop with the sodies.
Comment that in my video. And I have one, it's actually an individual size of cheese fries because you can actually get smaller size or
Blah, blah, blah. All I hear is blah, blah, blah. Chantal, look in the mirror. Get on the scale. Do this without filming yourself. You guys don't need to film every little shit in your life. Um, get on the scale and realize you are fooling yourself. Only yourself, nobody out here. We know that you're on the fast track to the incinerator. We know that you don't value life. You do not love your husband because number one, he's not your husband. Number one, he doesn't care about you. And I would like to point out that in the beginning, he still pointed at you being on a diet, you not being able to eat cheese or whatever. He's completely given up. Have you noticed that? Or do you not care? Because you're a food addict that needs for everybody to just shut up, right? You want for people just to watch your videos, not criticize you in any kind of way, even though you've abused your audience as your sounding board. Like, oh my gosh, guys, look at my sugar number, and now I can't leave the house anymore. All that clickbaiting of your ailments, right? Then you get to a point where you say, I gotta change things, otherwise I'm not gonna last much longer. And then you go back to mukbangs, and here's your fat ass sitting in front of the camera, trying to make us believe that the portions you eat are normal. Do you have any kind of idea how crazy you sound right now? Probably not.
family size, as you can see pictured here. Yes, I come with receipts.
The receipts don't make a difference. Other people don't weigh 450 pounds and can barely move anymore and have sugar numbers that would make me run to the emergency room. You have completely wrecked your body. What are you doing? There's absolutely no way, no matter what kind of voice you use, that you can convince any normally thinking person out here that what you are doing is eating normal portions. Get a clue.
Now, I don't think anyone would accuse this mukbanger of having a binge here.
Why are you watching other mukbangers is what I would like to know. Does that arouse you in some way? Or in between your large meals, do you watch others eat because you can't eat at the time? Is that what's going on? I'm not sure what is going on here.
KFC because they're thin. So there's the stigma right there, just because I'm overweight, that anything I eat that is not healthy, and I will acknowledge that the food I eat in mukbangs a lot of the time are not healthy.
Most of the time, I cannot remember one single meal that was healthy. Not a single one.
I use my mukbang as a means to eat things that most people think I shouldn't eat,
Uh-huh, okay, good, good.
and to eat things that
Oh, how she's trying to come up with ways to explain it. Let me help you there, Chantal. You have absolutely no self-discipline. That is why you keep shoveling food into your mouth, and that is why you keep getting fatter and fatter. You are a food addict just like Amber, just like, was it a couple of weeks ago when I said the exact same thing? You are a food addict trying to sell to people that hold the money that you need. In money meaning people put time and energy into watching her videos. Why is beyond me. But yeah, so you are a food addict trying to convince people that hold the money that you need to continue practicing your food addiction to buy all these, masses of food. You're trying to convince them that it's okay what you're doing. You are a food addict. You have no control over what you're doing to your body anymore, and you're just trying to justify it. And that's why you sound cuckoo.
are just not really obviously healthy.
Yeah. So that should be the end of the video. Or maybe the last sentence should be, but I don't care about my life, and so I'm going to continue doing it. Bye.
So the thing is you're right. That probably isn't a binge for her. Just because somebody
I don't care about that girl. Stop talking about that girl. You're just mad because she's skinny and you're not. And plus, I'm just gonna say it here for the records. It's not like I'm all over, and you guys know I only talk about Chantal and Amber on a regular basis. But I would never do the same thing for a person. Okay, Roseanne put it this way once. She said, I eat just as much as any skinny bitch does, but there are skinny bitches that throw up the food afterwards. And so this mukbanger might be one of them. There are mukbangers that have been outed as, when they've been questioned, hey, like I remember this one Asian guy, and he was questioned, like, how come you're not gaining any weight? And people around him outed him as he throws it up right afterwards. And that is disgusting. That is just disgusting. And that is just another food, uh, uh, um, an eating disorder. Unless he probably did it on purpose. I don't know. But that's a slippery slope. And so there are people that do that, and I don't want to see them eat. I don't click on people's videos when they eat, because why should I watch somebody else eat? I remember how the mukbang idea came up, and that is when people are lonely and they have their dinner and they just worked all day and they only have enough time just to have a meal, take a shower, go to sleep, and do it all over again the next day. And so they turn their laptops on and they have somebody else on the screen sitting across from them having their meal at the same time. I get that. But nobody needs to see a 450 pounder with no dining room etiquette at all. I don't know where they went wrong, her mother and her relatives. Just let her shovel food into her face like that. And now it's the scat man. He has no control over her because he is making them both, she is making them both look bad. And that is after what he's put their reputation through. This is just a desperate food addict sitting there trying to justify that she wants to continue doing what she does all day anyway. It's not like these women like Amber and Chantal only have one meal a day. They continuously eat like this. This one here could easily put out 3 videos, 3 large meals, because if she only ate even one of those meals and nothing else for the rest of the day, she would still probably lose weight. And so they continuously stuff face, and so they could basically do live streams, interspersed with short breaks where they keel over and fall asleep because they don't move around. Otherwise, they wouldn't move as clumsily as they do when we do see them move around.
is eating large quantities of food in one sitting.
That is not the definition of a mukbang. A mukbang is sitting there eating and broadcasting it. I don't know why Americans felt, I think it was Americans that started it, like Nicocado, Avocado, started with that, with large portions. You could also eat like just a steak and a potato and a little bit of salad. Why not? Why does it have to be a 30-minute video of a 450 pounder cramming shit into their mouth? And provocatively looking into the viewfinder because she knows she shouldn't be doing it anymore. There are people that have problems with control over how much food they ingest, and others don't. You are in the category where you should not be broadcasting it anymore.
Does not mean that it is considered a binge in terms of binge eating disorder. So
You can call it a binge or overeating or eating too much. It makes no difference. You are most definitely consuming too much food on a daily basis, my dear.
I've explained this many times.
And you're still wrong because it is not about the word you're using. It is about the action. And the action is that you stuff your face way too much during the day. And if you were not so ignorant, or if your livelihood wouldn't depend on it, you wouldn't be sitting here being smug about it. You would admit to it.
But again, the community of reactors or haters or whatever, they are like talking to a brick wall.
Yeah, it seems that way because you are on a mission to end that life, and we are aware of that.
And once they've made up their mind about something about your life, they're always right and you're always wrong. No matter.
Huh. That gives me flashbacks to the shrimp mukbang where Amber tried to explain to us that just because we see her eat one meal doesn't determine what she eats the rest of the week. And yet she gained over. I think that one year she gained 80 pounds, and then cried about it, and then went on with her mukbangs. You guys overeat all day, every day. That is why you're so fat, and that's why you're so clumsy. You cannot walk anymore. You are immobile. You are walking around like a zombie, and in your case, like a pregnant zombie. And Amber has to throw her thighs and her fupa and guns by the movement of her thighs. That looks even funnier than what you are doing. You're just leaning back and you're walking like a pregnant woman, but you're not pregnant, it's all fat. That wheelbarrow of fat in front of you, and you absolutely have no more shame left. You see yourself in videos and you're probably laughing all the way to the bank when you cash that YouTube check. No backbone left, and you're trying to school others. That is rich.
No matter what you do, even if you prove yourself.
Prove yourself. You haven't proven yourself to do anything that would be beneficial to your body. Let's be real, right?
Sorry, I'm removing the lid of a new pot so that my cat can sit inside and I can take cute pictures. And yeah.
Yeah, as if anybody cares.
Yeah, so, I'm always wrong. And
Yeah, because you keep saying that you're going to do something to save your life and then you never do. And then come the mukbangs and then you wonder why people get mad at you. And then instead of saying, okay, guys, look, I can't stop eating and so I'm gonna do it. You even get cocky on top of it. Just be understanding. Understand that people had developed feelings for you, then you kept disappointing them. Just recently, you said that you're gonna change your life around, and I said it to you. You wouldn't believe me, or you didn't hear me say it. That when Amber and Chantal talk about how they're gonna change their lives and no more takeout, no more sodas, only water, they can't do that. They have to do baby. They have to take baby steps, or admit themselves to a clinic. But they both don't have the money for that anymore. And so, yeah, but you prove, Chantal, you prove us right over and over again because you can't keep food out of your mouth. You never mean it when you talk about how you're taking your health seriously. And so just continue what you've been doing, but don't try to school anybody on anything because you have nothing to share that would indicate that you know something that is valuable to us.
everyone knows best. Everyone's an expert in this and that. They know more about your life, how you feel, than you do your own.
Ah, and there's a smirk of a food addict trying to not to admit that she is in the wrong.
Isn't that something? That's a true phenomenon right there. Now, I want to school you a little bit on what a binge is for me. And binge eating disorder is very personal, and each individual would probably define what they consider a binge a little different.
But this doesn't belong on this platform, especially not by a 450-pounder. You're trying to glorify super morbidly being super morbidly obese and a glutton and a pig, and on top of it having a horrid personality. And so you should not be talking about this.
And
And nobody cares. We all know you're eating all day anyway. And so you can dig your little, stubby hands into the expression binge eating disorder or binging. You just eat all day. Call it that.
from the next person, I would say that there are some base foundations that if you look up binge eating disorder, that certain organizations will tell you, these are the signs, the symptoms, things like that.
It makes no difference what you bring up. Nothing justifies that you still eat on a public platform. That is committing slow suicide in your case, not in everybody's case, but in your case and Amber's case. It is committing slow suicide. You've been proving that you cannot lose any kind of weight. All you ever do is just talk about losing weight, but then you never do. And then come the mukbangs again, or just that smirk into the camera when Amber and her mommy are at some restaurant again. You cannot convince us that you are not eating all day long.
That could be included. Just kind of like when everyone has a flu, not everyone has diarrhea, not everyone has the same symptoms. So, basically, for me, and I told the doctor I've seen about this, just a reminder, I have been to a center, outpatient center for eating disorders in Ottawa when I lived there in Canada.
Oh, last time you were there? Yeah, that was once. And then they told you what resources you could use in Kuwait. What did you do? Sit in front of the camera and stuff face again. I would like to hear what your doctor in Kuwait, if you're still seeing one, I doubt it, has to say about your current sugar numbers and your weight and the fact that you've been gaining weight and the fact that you make your money sitting in front of a camera shoveling food into your face. That's what I would like to know.
Before that, I've seen a few therapists for a few sessions, quite a few sessions.
None of it worked though, because look at you. Here we are, right?
I've been to inpatient therapy growing up as a teenager, and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, so what happened with that? So you're just bringing it up, but it helped you not at all, right? Because here we are. Look at yourself.
So I've read books on binge eating, Brain Over Binge, The Binge Code, intuitive eating books. I've downloaded countless calorie counting apps, and I've tried many diets.
Tried? No. You pretended to be on diets on your channel, but you never really put any effort into it. I saw a little more effort on your part, like looking back when I watch compilations or whatever, than with Amber. Amber's just completely full of shit, up to the brim, up to her scalp, about never trying anything that would take her away from being able to eat all day. But in her case, basically the same, you know?
But for me, a binge, when I enter binge mode, we'll call it, it's not just about how much food I'm eating. And I can tell you right now, you're not going to see me actually have a binge.
Wrong. Wrong. You are ravenous when you do those mukbangs. Ravenous. And I know you would probably say, if you could talk back at me right now, you would probably say, but yeah, it's the feeders. They give me money. And so that's why I eat like a pig. And that's why I also attach the microphone right below my jaw bones where all the clicking takes place. And I do that for the feeders. But you cannot say that because that would be admitting to being the loser that you are, the desperate food addict that would like to get paid for her addiction. And that is just wrong. Or you could go down the path and say, when I binge, this is what that looks like. But if you look, if you say you can sit down and have these huge portions, and they are huge portions compared to a normal person. You can show us mukbang pictures all you like. It makes no difference. Most of the mukbangers have gained weight, or they just disappeared, or they were outed as throwing up the food afterwards. Which I'm not judging. I just don't have commentary on everything that goes on in the world, right? But you've been eating a lot of food, and it becomes clear when we see you eat these portions that you do eat. And you can say, hey, but the elephant eats more. Yeah, the elephant is kind of bigger for now. Is bigger than you. Of course, the elephant needs more food. So what she's trying to do now is just weasel her way through accountability.
On in terms of binge eating disorder, which is when I binge eat.
Stop with throwing that expression around. It makes no difference. You eat too much food and you don't move enough. That is your situation.
On camera, there's a big difference.
No, there is not. You're just trying to nail it to expressions. Plus, you look very exhausted. What's going on with you? Are you sick?
Between overeating and binge eating.
No. Okay, yes, there is, but neither you nor Amber binge eat. You have no idea what binge eating disorder is. What you do is just be a glutton and stuff your face all day long.
And the difference is a very psychological one more than physical. And it's psychological triggers that cause the physical binge eating. And in a mukbang, it's planned, it's calculated, it's done.
It is so mind-numbing to listen to this 450-pounder trying to explain why she cannot eat normal portions. And why she does not have the shame or grace to not show it on the internet.
There's a mean to it, there's a reason for it. Mukbang is a huge thing on the internet.
It's mukbang. Somebody like you should by now know how to pronounce that word.
I'm not the only one. I'm not.
No, you're not the only one, but you have gathered people around you that invested their time, energy, and their feelings. You asked them for advice. You made so many live streams where you asked them for advice, where you cried, and where you said you've had enough and this needs to stop. And then you just change your mind again, and then you wonder why people are bitter. And then you get bitter because people are bitter. Just keep stuff in your face and shut the fuck up.
The only overweight one to do it, and
But one of the few that are alive, you want to look really quick at the list of people that have already died from standing behind what you are saying right now. I remember Life by Jen holding whole speeches, and I was like, yeah, she's not for real. She keeps eating off camera.
also not the only overweight one with health problems to do it as well.
Yeah, but you are one of the few that abuses their audience for advice. For sounding off and saying, gosh darn it, guys, don't do that anymore. Do not do that anymore. Don't show your sugar level anymore. Just eat yourself to death on OnlyFans.
A lot of people don't talk about their personal lives. Usually, mukbangers don't. A lot of them. So I understand the reason.
You hardly do. You bring up stories that you've changed over the years from years ago, all food related. You have nothing relevant to say. Nothing.
Reception for that. People are concerned because I do talk a lot about my health problems. People know I have binge eating disorder. They know I have diabetes. But what you don't know on a daily basis is other things that I eat throughout the day.
Wow, again, the shrimp mukbang with Amber, saying that how does one meal a day determine what I eat the rest of the week? Well, your size for one, stupid. She is completely caught in her delusion and the arrogance on top of it all. You guys know I can't let slide. And yeah, I'm tempted to cut her off already. We're just at 8.5 minutes, and she hasn't said anything that makes sense.
You don't know how often I actually do binge eat. And
It makes no difference to us. You eat too much food every single day. Stop calling it a binge eating disorder. Stop hiding behind medical terms. Just call a spade a spade. You are fat, you are humongous because you can't keep food out of your face. That is the fact. And you're trying to make money off of it, on top of it all, by showing it to a public platform where there are impressionable members in the audience that see how you've completely given up on life. Completely. You even ran back to a husband, to a pseudo husband, a Syrian scammer, that very actively tried to cheat on you. I still maintain if that girl had said, I'm gonna take a loan, I'm gonna come over there and take care of you, he would have said yes. And that girl would have been in Chantal's life. And she would have put up with it because she has no backbone at all.
You don't know whether allowing myself to eat these foods actually does help or not.
You're getting fatter and fatter, so my guess is it's a mistake.
With the actual binge eating. So I want to say that for me, a binge is, binge eating disorder is a psychiatric disorder. That's why when I went for outpatient treatment, I was, seen by a psychiatrist. I was put on Vyvanse. I was, went through the rigmarole, and yeah. So I mean,
And nothing helped, so why are you bringing this up? That only strengthens our point out here. You have no idea what you're doing, and you're eating yourself to death.
obviously didn't cure me, but
Because you don't want to cure yourself, you just want to drive your life against the wall.
it
God, she's so brain lame. It is mind numbing to listen just to the speed in which she talks.
I felt like the doctor didn't have as much experience with binge eating as they do with other eating disorders.
And also, he had a patient that was completely not interested in losing any kind of weight or stopping their everyday overeating.
And that's because, again, if you have an eating disorder and you're obese and it shows, people just assume that you just overeat and you're just a pig.
Chantal, you are a pig. You are obese because you overeat every single day. There are certain amounts of calories that you can ingest without gaining weight. You exceed them every single day. You are a pig. You are super morbidly obese. You are eating yourself to death. And anything else you say concerning that is just proof for your delusion. You need help with dealing with these warped thoughts.
Basically, that's exactly how it goes.
Because that's the fact. You are a glutton. You can't keep food out of your mouth.
They don't think that you have disordered eating.
You're not getting any help for that, so miss me with all of that. Stop hiding behind medical terms.
And
Because right now you're basically admitting that you have feeders that pay you to stuff your stomach to the brim, and on top of it all, you binge eat off camera. So you should definitely be yanked off this platform.
I'm here to tell you that regardless of what you think, it doesn't mean that you know.
Right back at you, sister. Sister, her sitting there dressed like a nun.
Okay, there's a big difference there, and you don't know what.
And you don't know what you're talking about either. You shouldn't be holding speeches. Your everyday mistakes speak for themselves. You have nothing that you could say to us that would explain it. We already know what is going on. And it drives you up the wall.
You're talking about. So for me, getting back to this, I go on tangents. For me, an actual binge is a psychological issue, and
And you're not getting any help for it. Okay, noted.
it's usually triggered by different things.
Like reaction channel saying things you don't like, the Scatman seeing one of his 5 girlfriends, you catching the Scatman reaching out to even more girls, you realizing that you're trapped in a prison. I mean, did you guys see the opposite side of what she looks at when she's sitting there like this? This is what she looks at. That is depressing. And can you please tell me who painted the freaking door? Whew.
but it's usually just a big, overwhelming urge.
Yeah, just to eat. To eat, Chantal.
I'm trying to think of how to describe it accurately.
An urge to eat. There is no hunger. There is no physical hunger. Just the urge to eat because you have nothing else to occupy your time with. You have incapacitated your body. You cannot say, hey, I feel like going for a swim. You're going to be exhausted for the rest of the day. Just making it down to that filthy, moldy pool is bad. Now you have the excuse that you made for yourself because you consciously made the decision to move to a country where it's so friggin' hot that unless you grew up in that country, it's basically unbearable. And so you're stuck in that apartment, the same four walls, same four walls. So, of course, you want a stuffed face. Has nothing to do with hunger. That is correct.
It's it's hard to describe. It's a feeling. It's like a overwhelming feeling.
The need to stuff your face and numb your feelings because you have no other way of dealing with life.
And it's not something I would want to see myself do, and it's not something I would want to show people.
Of course, because that is relatable. But then again, you tell us the difference between you ravenously destroying food in a mukbang and when you are binging, which only means overeating off camera. I would like for her to give us that determination.
Throughout my whole life, I've had this. I used to sneak food, hide it in my bedroom.
We know all of that. Is this still you schooling us? Because I still haven't heard anything that impressed me.
When I was living in a group home, I used to steal food from the fridge, bring it up to my bedroom, like big blocks of cheese and bread and whatever.
Yeah, so basically, like Amber doing the same thing for decades. This is what happens when low IQ people just give into their cravings, their desires, without thinking about it, because they can't determine, oh my gosh, maybe I don't want to be that person anymore. They just keep going until they croak.
So I binge in secret. It's something that I hide. I mean, I've told you guys the stories about the pizza boxes in my closet when I used to live with BB, you know? So it's like I do it in secret. I don't
Yeah, you kind of don't, because your mukbang sure look like you're overeating. I mean, to me, it makes no difference if it's binge eating disorder, even though I still find it highly offensive that you and Amber hide behind terms like binge eating disorder, because I've known people that actually suffer from that disorder, and it is completely different from what you guys are telling us. You're just willingly stuffing food in your face all day long, every single day.
do it as a mukbang. If I've ever, I think I've shown maybe a couple of binges as more of a vlog or like an educational thing to show, to be transparent and show you what it's like for me.
An educational thing? You disgust people, you shock teenagers. And that is not even mentioning what you look like. All those times when you decided to overeat that make you look like this. And then on top of it all, you film yourself walking through the landscape, barely being able to walk anymore like a human being.
I may not even have, I don't remember that far back about what I.
You've been high way too often on your channel to make determinations like I've never done this on my channel or I did do that, because you are low IQ plus drugs plus alcohol. That ain't never fun for the audience.
Did with the video, if I did a video like that, but for a mukbang, no, it's not like that. A mukbang is a mukbang. So even if you see this lady here with this huge mukbang,
Who cares about that lady? Look at yourself. You weigh 450 pounds, possibly 500 by now, and you can't stop eating. Stop pointing your fingers at others. Stop pointing your fingers at reaction channels. There are different levels of people being shocked at or disappointed about what you do with your life, and it's their prerogative. Just like you can decide, I'm going to eat myself to death on camera. Just stop with the schooling. You know, you can't school anybody. You have to learn the basics in life, like how to keep food out of your mouth, or maybe how to read a book, how to increase your IQ, how to learn certain skills besides shoveling food into your face. Then come back to us and try to school us on anything.
It's probably still not a binge. I mean, I don't know her life, but just because there's lots of food doesn't mean that it's a binge. Okay.
These bitches can't stop talking about food. They can't stop talking about food. Chantal, this is not schooling us on anything.
Okay. So anyway, I would, just get massive quantities of food when I'm alone, when I'm feeling a particular way.
Yeah, so you're a loser. You still haven't gotten any kind of control over that. And instead of investing your time and energy into actually fixing your life, you're trying to defend your food addiction. That's interesting.
Sometimes you just feel the binge urge come on, and I don't really know how to describe it other than that.
Nobody needs to hear that shit. Nobody needs to hear that shit. Especially not after all these times that you've tried to explain it. Nobody's listening to you anymore.
And it's very hard to control. It's very hard to fight. I mean,
Yeah, very obviously, because look at yourself.
if it wasn't, there wouldn't be anyone with this disorder, right?
But most of those with that disorder feel shame. You do not. They feel shame. You do not. They feel shame about having overeaten, having gained weight, having to wear larger clothes. You do not. You flaunt all of that, and so does Amber. You are trying to glorify obesity on a public platform, and that is wrong, my dear.
It's notorious for being hard to fight, you know?
And yet, you must be on some kind of level, be aware of the fact that there are children out here, teenagers, where parents are not so vigilant when it comes to controlling what their children or teenagers are watching on the internet or what they're doing on the internet. And they can see somebody like you that has completely given up on life and that arrogantly tries to defend that this is an eating disorder. Get off our fucking screens. Eat yourself to death on your own time. Get yourself a job. You can do medical coding, whatever. You can do that from home, sitting on your ass. But don't come running to us with your hands open, expecting money. Mm-mm.
So, for example, like if I was alone previously, I would just start eating anything I could grab. Like sometimes I would even just eat like anything, literally. Like I
Just eat wallpaper. Can't you eat something that is not high caloric?
one time ate relish. Like
I'm sorry, guys. If this was any of you telling me this, my answers would be completely different. There's a history of that heifer sitting there just bullshitting her way through life. That is why I react the way I react.
because there was dill relish in the fridge, and that was the last thing I could binge on. Like 3 to 4 packets of noodles, of ramen, 5 bags, little bags of chips, a whole tray of
Okay, why list off all these foods? Why? Why? You are a glutton and you do not have your food situation under control. Go get help. The solution is not to sit there and continue stuffing your face, expecting money in return. Doing it for monetary gain, which you clearly are. $30, 2 corn dogs, enough said, right? Get off our screens and fix your life. Or show the progress, but actually show progress. You eating yourself to death is not attractive.
cheese, a whole block of cheese, just mindlessly autopilot, just not even thinking about it. And
Yeah, like you do in every single mukbang. That is exactly the definition of it. Mindlessly. And I wonder why is Salah not coming into the picture with a funnel, shoves it down her gullet, and just crams the food in it. I don't get it. Why does she still need to? It would be so much easier. There would be faster ways to get it into her stomach than watching this pig of a human being sit there and eat.
Then after you binge eat, you have this more psychological side effect of just this overwhelming feeling of
Shame?
guilt and
Guilt. Oh, okay. Maybe shame. And that would keep you from uploading this bullshit onto your channel.
like shame and
Oh, there you go. So you know the words. You probably don't have the corresponding emotions, because if you did, you would be ashamed of yourself at this point. And if not that, and if you don't care about your audience, how about feeling sorry for your own body? How about that? Look at what you've done to yourself. And it's made you so bitter that you think you can teach people out here about eating disorders. Never done a thing in your life to actually fix yours, like to make a step into the right direction. Become aware of ongoing mistakes, everyday mistakes. Nothing like that. Sitting there as arrogant as can be, and probably proud of the fact that she uploaded a video where she tells us she's schooling us in an ASMR voice. Bullshit. The toxicity just sprays out of her.
just ickiness. You cringe at yourself and you're like, you feel defeated. It's this overwhelming feeling of defeat and hopelessness, and that you don't have control over your own self.
Okay, that's what should happen after every mukbang.
And you don't understand it. You don't understand it. And it's
And you just keep going and you just keep stuffing faces what you're doing. You're not speaking for people with binge eating disorders. I can tell you that right now. You are not speaking for them. You are not one of them. You are just a glutton. You've never learned to do anything else with your time, but to maybe have sex with, I don't know, homeless people or drug addicts or I don't know what your low standards are when it comes to men or sex partners. But yeah, Jesus Christ.
a totally different.
What time is this to be alive in, where you have people at this size looking this grotesque, holding speeches about eating disorders, even though they don't do anything about it? Nothing. That is just crazy.
Dark feeling. It's a dark place, and it's not my mukbangs at all.
Yes, it is. You are delusional if you think that that is not. Because look up, instead of looking up mukbangers, stay away from people that eat on camera. What is your deal? Try to find out what normal portion sizes are. Get into nutrition. Get into that kind of stuff, in that direction, not in the opposite direction. You are running out of time.
My mukbangs are planned. They are
Paid for.
mostly calculated, mostly.
Calculated to what degree? Concerning the calories? Or financially calculated?
Sometimes no, but you know, trying to do better with that. They have a purpose, and
What's that? To stuff face? To scratch the itch? What is the purpose?
they're not the same at all.
Yes, they are, and you're starting to bore me.
If I overly restrict myself, it's a disaster.
Okay, so the solution is to just continue following your urges and just keep stuff in your face. Is that the solution? That her and Amber, they could be related. Probably clone, just different fat suits on. I do not know what is going on. With Amber saying, well, you can't change overnight. Well, no, you can't, but you can make baby changes, small changes every single day. And if they had done it, both of them, they would probably be skinny already and not facing an early death.
For binge eating. My life needs to be more structured and everything that like that. Yes, I know that. You know,
No, no, no. You're doing everything right. You are schooling us here, remember? Don't get off track now. You are schooling us. You're doing everything perfectly correct in your life.
but I have a million problems, but binge eating and a mukbang is not one of them.
What do you say to that? What do you say to this kind of mental diarrhea? Homegirl, you need inpatient care. You and Amber both. Maybe go to the same clinic, make it more fun, and no access to food. So you need to be supervised and assessed, diagnosed, and medically treated. There's no other way because you're not going to save your lives.
And for it to be called a binge is very misleading to people.
Yeah, because you should be using these words. You just can't keep food out of your mouth, point blank, period.
And it's wrong. It's false information. It's
Yes, you are spreading false information and you need to shut up about it. Plus, you need a nap. You've talked for what, 15 minutes? Let's say it's 14 minutes, 55 seconds. So she cut out a whole bunch of deep breathing, farts, burps, I don't know what, and she's already exhausted. Yeah, can't challenge herself mentally, physically, or in any other way, so she's bitter. So she needs to be schooling haters. Girl, get out of here with that.
complete bullshit. And, my KFC mukbang was massive. Wow.
Yeah, look at normal portion sizes. Look at them. How ignorant are you? Do you really think that the portion sizes you eat are normal? Do you think that they're going to help you lose weight? Do you think they're going to help you extend your lifespan? Are you completely off the rails? Google that shit. Don't look at mukbangers. Look at nutrition, diet, normal portion sizes, and all of that.
I don't know if it's a camera angle or what, but I don't know if people don't watch my mukbangs till the end either because I didn't finish the food. I
Dude, it makes no difference because look at your fat face. Look at the way you walk. Look at your sugar level. Stop with the insanity. I get why you're delusional. You're a complete food addict, and plus you're not very, you're not the sharpest tool in the shed. But for Christ's sake, can you get a clue?
had one of the wraps. I had a few bites of the second one, and I didn't even finish the cheese fries. So, I
Oh wow, she's arrogant about not having finished that entire table of food. Hmm. Yeah, it's hopeless. She's a lost cause.
really don't know where that was massive. I mean,
Yeah, for you it wasn't. For you it wasn't. You are a fat cow. You've been eating way too much food for decades. Research that stuff. Again, go on the internet and research what a normal sized human being needs to survive.
comment below if you can eat.
I'm not going to comment on your channel. I'm not even going to watch this shit on your channel. You're not getting anything from me. I'm not contributing to you having money to do this on a public platform.
A whole wrap and half of cheese fries. I really, really just think it's just complete BS and stupid.
Then keep stuffing your face, double the portion size, and come back with that to school the haters. Look, this is still not too much food. Keep doing it. But do it on OnlyFans because a gluttonous pig like you does not belong on a public platform where there are kids, children, and otherwise impressionable members of the audience that are struggling with self-control. You have absolutely none, and so you should not be broadcasting that.
And misinformation, and it's false.
And that's why you need to go. Because you are spreading misinformation. You think that the masses of food that you ingest in a mukbang are normal portion sizes. That is absolutely off the reservation.
And it's a desperate attempt at content. And
Yes, it is. And you need to stop with it. You need to find other ways to make money Maybe whore yourself out. Maybe the Syrian scammer can help you with that. He probably has a couple of buddies from Syria that just got to Kuwait or whatever, that need some assistance. Do anything but eat on camera. Enough with the insanity.
And it's really just at this point, these people are just like dingleberries and they just don't fall off and they need to be.
See, the kindergarten insults. That is so cute. I understand, Chantal. You're bitter. Your life sucks. It's painful. You've probably eaten through your stomach already with all the painkillers that you throw back. And I get it. Just don't vent at people that are watching your videos. You're an idiot for doing that. And you and Amber don't seem to get it. You know?
Dropped into the toilet and flushed away because
See, and she just keeps going because she's so bitter. So bitter about her own life. Sitting there dressed like a nun, holding speeches about something she knows absolutely nothing about.
that's where you belong, in the crapper.
Wow, do I have to cut you off, potty mouth?
Your content is crap. It's
It is crap, Chantal. Why do you keep serving it to your audience? And then flaunting, just like Amber, flaunting that you have over 100,000 subscribers. Yeah, subscribers, but not viewers. These are two totally different things. Girl, no. Look at your moon face, even though you have filters on.
desperate, and I have every right to do mukbangs and eat just like everyone else, even if I have diabetes, even if I have binge eating disorder.
Look how she's getting all mad now and all heated. You have the right to eat yourself to death despite your diabetes, your high blood pressure, your, I don't know what all you got going on, all the inflammations in the body, ulcers, I don't care. You have the right to do that, but not on a public platform. Nope, you do not.
Because none of you are doctors and
No, but we are human beings, and even though neither you nor Amber care about anybody else but themselves and about the money that they need to ingest these masses of food, there are people out here that care about others. I'm one of them. And I will stop people like you because it is wrong for you to flaunt your food addiction paired with such a gluttonous and disgusting way of eating. I mean, use a funnel. Show some mercy on people that watch you. Use a funnel. Or eat out of a trough, at least it would be funny. I mean, she's eaten out of troughs already. But put it on the ground, bend over, and eat that way.
none of you are know how to are experts on an eating disorder.
Neither are you because you are trapped in an eating disorder that forces you to eat all day. So don't hold TED Talks. Just move on and prepare your next mukbang.
And I'm sure if you were, you wouldn't be in Gore World. You probably have a life and an
Wow, you have no idea how many beautiful souls there are in Girl World and how many people have been through to hell and back and live to tell about it. You just don't get it because you and Amber never read the comments, and if you do, you probably gloss over the ones where people say, hey, I've been watching Chantal and Amber for 6 months and I've dropped 100 pounds, things like that. And we have such great conversations in the comment section, something you can't even imagine because you spray toxicity and that's what you receive. And that's your perception is so twisted that all you see is toxicity out here. And I pity you. I pity you for your perception being this warped and for being trapped in a delusion that forces you to continue eating and to continue trying desperately to justify it. What a sad existence. We all have lives out here. And I dare to say anybody that let's say a reaction channel that has absolutely no job, no children, no pets, and just sits there in their mother's basement. I'm not aiming at anybody. I don't even know if that person exists. But let's just say that person still has more of a life than you because you cannot go out there and live anymore. You can just sit in front of your camera and rant and be bitter, and that is what you've chosen for yourself.
education. But so yeah, this is why I've decided to keep my personal life offline because
Oh, have you not recently spoken about your raised sugar level again? Or when was that? Where did I see that? I can't remember when the clip was from, but I thought it was these days.
it's, I mean, despite the mukbangs, my blood sugars are still the same. They're more than cut in half than what they were. They've
Probably because you're throwing back the diabetes medication and you think that's a success. Imagine how much you could help your body if you actually cared about your health.
gone from they've gone from 24 mmol down to 11, and that's on the
Which is still not a low.
higher side. Sometimes they're 8, sometimes they're 9, sometimes they're 10, but not usually higher than 11. And which is a big improvement, and I still have time to get it down even more.
That's what Life by Jen thought too. And then she was in the hospital and then she was gone.
You don't see the little efforts I do throughout the day.
No, but you also don't share them. And you've already announced that you're not going to talk about your private life anymore. So don't even do it now. Don't even try to do it now. We see you for because of desperation for money. You've shown yourself in a pool where you kept wading back towards the camera, flapping your jaws instead of really taking advantage of the fact that you're in a swimming pool, despite the bird shit, all the insects, and the mold. Okay? You could have moved around, but every time we see you out there, we see you don't want to move. There are jump cuts when you have to climb upstairs or downstairs even, you know. You just have absolutely no way of enjoying life anymore besides shoveling food in your mouth. Continue to do it, but don't be bitter at us about it.
And stuff like that. So you don't know, but because you don't know, anyway, that's
Yeah, we see you. We see you when you do move. You can show yourself every few years, and we see, oh, she still can't walk like a human being. She still looks like a 50-year-old a pregnant woman that has had the baby in for 5 years. You know, of course we don't know, and nobody cares anymore because now you've tried to string people along for so long that people are just waiting for you to completely drive your life against the wall.
what I wanted to basically rant about.
Yeah, okay, so rant noted, but nothing relevant said, and so I'm gonna cut you off here because my time is precious. I know you're only sitting on your ass doing nothing, but most of us out here don't live that kind of life, and that's why you bore them. And so keep shoveling food in your mouth, keep trying to justify it. Don't go to the doctor. Be happy about your elevated sugar levels because they used to be higher. It's like an 800-pounder saying, "Hey, I weigh 600 pounds, but at least I don't weigh 800 anymore." Idiots, just idiots. Degeneration is real, folks. I'm gonna go. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in my next one. And apologies for not having sped this up because this was mind-numbing, mind-numbingly boring. She's even in slow-mo when she thinks now. Dude. Okay, I'm out. Bye.